Excuse me, Mr. Gio.
Yeah, what's up?
What does it take to become a champion?
You gotta dream, you gotta think, you gotta act, you gotta ball, you gotta bleed, and most important, you gotta believe.
You gotta dream
like a champion,
think
like a champion,
act
like a champion, say I'm a champion.
soar
Like a champion,
bleed.
like a champion,
Look in the mirror and believe.
you're a champion.
You gotta dream
Like a champion,
think
like a champion. You're tuned in to IChampionHealth Chats, the podcast for amplifying community voices and advancing health for all in Lexington, Kentucky. Each episode connects you with local champions who bring powerful stories, useful tools, and fresh ways we can show up for ourselves and others. Let's lock in and learn how we can champion health together. Welcome, listeners and viewers. I am excited to announce a special crossover season that brings together voices from across our community. I am Gerald Gibson, founder and executive director of Operation Making a Change, and I'm the host of IChampionHealth Chats, a podcast where we explore real stories and fresh ideas to advance health for all across Lexington. And I'm also excited to announce I am joined by someone whose leadership helped make this collaboration possible.
Thanks, Gio. I'm Dr. Abini Elamine, co-founder of Project Ricochet and host of The Ricochet Effect, a podcast about community leadership and the impact of local action. What you're about to hear was recorded live at the 2025 Central Kentucky Black Family Conference, an event I had the privilege of helping bring to life. The conference brought people together from all walks of life, families, leaders, and neighbors, to focus on health, connection, and building stronger communities through conversation and shared experience.
This year, the IChampionHealth Initiative and Project Ricochet teamed up for something special, a joint series of community interviews we're calling The Talking Drum.
Across this series, you'll hear from youth, professionals, and artists, people who make Lexington the community it is. These conversations were led by Mr. Gio and Terry Dunford from the Voyage Movement and also the Ricochet Effect podcast as a co-host. They dive into personal stories about health, leadership, family, and life's everyday moments, both the joyful and the challenging.
Whether you were part of the event or you're just now tuning in, this series is a chance to reflect, connect, and hear what matters most straight from the people in our community.
Make sure to follow #IChampionHealthChats and the Ricochet Effect podcast at WUKY so you don't miss any part of the Talking Drum series and other future episodes. Now, let's take a moment to listen and celebrate what makes our community strong.
All right. This next young lady we have, I'm just going to say when we first met, it was a little beefing because every event we would go to, she's always winning the prizes. I'm thinking it's fixed. Like, how you keep winning? Like, I don't understand.
He's a winner.
Yes, a winner, born winner. So can you please introduce yourself to the people and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Okay. I'm Tania Whitfield. I'm from Chicago. I've lived here for about 20 years, but I still rep Chicago always. So I'm also with Black, which is Black Appalachian Coalition, which is not the same as Another Black. We got two different, so I always try to say the difference. I'm also with Vocal Kentucky, and Vocal stands for Voices of Community Activists and Leaders. And we just build power by bringing together people that have been affected by the failed drug war, mass incarceration, the unhoused, financially disadvantaged, because I don't like to say low income because there's nothing low about us, HIV, AIDS, and Hep C. And so we have our bi-monthly meeting coming up next month, April 15th, at the Recovery Cafe, 1109 Versailles Road from 4 to 6. And we talk about Vocal, but our most important part is learning from our members because we are a membership, grassroots-led organization. And, you know, when you know about what's going on and you hear from everybody, that's how we're able to change things and have real conversations. And it's okay to be a little angry or mad because, you know, those could be hard topics to talk about. But when we're honest and we're upfront, that's how we can figure out what it is, have a good strategy, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and failure is just not an option in my book.
Amen.
Is the
Amen.
podcast tied to vocal or something else? Is that
Oh,
something
no, the podcast is one organization and then vocals another.
Okay.
But I might end up blending them once I get permission to.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
You
I
have-
hope y'all hear that once I get permission to.
you got such amazing energy.
Thank you.
I love it. I see why we got something in common. I'm an Illinoisan myself, so I grew up north of Chicago, family in Chicago. So we're asking our guests today, what does community mean to you? I mean, you're boots on the ground doing a lot of stuff out here. What does community mean to you?
Oh my gosh. I have to start out with my dad. I'm a daddy's girl. I remember he was the unofficial mayor of Chicago. He was the type, if he saw you and you needed shoes, you got them. If you needed a plate, you got it. And he didn't think about, I didn't have enough money or anything like that. That was just him. And that's community. Like, if I'm able to help you, whether it's giving you money or food or clothing, or say, hey, you're in this situation, I can tell you about OMAC, or I can tell you about vocal, like KFCC, like whatever it is, if there's something I can do, I can help with. And that's
Right.
what community is. And even if I don't know personally, I can be like, hey, you know what? I met this person and they're going through this. Oh, yeah, we can come up with this person. And see, and when we get rid of our ego, because some people, they just want only their organization to get the light.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, you can have my light. I'm cool with that. I don't need it.
Right.
I mean, I'm glad that people know who I am and things like that, because I've worked hard, but at the same time, mine is more to bring honor to my dad and my family. And most people know my daughters. They are the world to me. They are doing different things. And I tell them, it's not me just as your mom. I am your example. Your dad is your example. And no matter how I fail at that sometimes, I just try to do the best thing that I can, just how my daddy did for me.
I like how you put that unofficial in there. I caught that. So I was going to ask you, was it Mayor Washington?
Right.
May he rest in peace.
Right.
Yeah, because
I got a couple unofficial titles myself. I'm the mayor of a couple unofficial cities we won't name. No, so listen, to Camelback on the community, what gives you hope right now in our community?
Oh, I really think it's my dad again.
I love
Because
that.
I just think
I love it.
about even when things were going bad and stuff, he just believed in greater. Like, I always explain, like, where I live is like the old school projects. Even though I'm from Chicago, Cabrini Green, so
The Greens.
we got a little different definition of projects.
Yeah. Right.
But see, when I look at that, I look at beauty. I look at these young people that are very articulate and smart, and I just see hope in them. Like, I see better for them. And even though some people just say, well, what do you expect from this area, or what do you expect from, I expect greatness no matter what.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what your address is. And of course, if you're in a nicer area and all that, you have all the things you need at school. But that's why it makes you grander, because when you only have 4 things and you still can do greatness from somebody that has 20 things. Like, you know how it is. Like, my dad, he would have 4 ingredients left. We got 4 days until we get our next set of money. And he would just make the greatest meals. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how does he even do that?
That's right.
With 4 things. You're like, what? I thought he had special powers or something. Like, what's going on?
He did.
But he just used it.
That's right.
And just made the best soup,
Right.
the best things, everything fresh. And he just did that. So it's like, if you think about all of what you have versus what you don't have, and you just trust that something is greater, it's just beauty always.
Come on with it. So, self-care is important. And so you're doing a lot of stuff in the community. And when you are just being you every single day, how do you pour into yourself? How do you reflect that back to you and take care of you?
Okay. Gotta say my dad again. I'm just
My
a
daughters
daddy's
better be
girl.
listening to this.
I'm just
because
a daddy's girl.
I
but
love it.
Like, what I always have to say, when I talk about my dad, I'm automatically talking about my mom, because they were one. And they were just such an example of love.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, my daddy wasn't that big, fuzzy, lovey, wuzzy type person, but he could just say things that just made you feel better
Yeah.
about everything. Like he was just that type of person. And and I just think about like when I'm sad, I listen to music. Temptations was his favorite. And I get my nails done sometimes, or I go out with my friends and we just have a great meal or whatever. And I love cooking fried chicken, because that's the first thing he taught me, in a cast iron skillet. So that's real old school.
That's right.
Because when you learn from a cast iron skillet and all that, that's
That hot water cornbread.
Hey, don't get started with the cornbread.
Love the energy, like my brother said over here. Lastly, what advice would you give some young leaders today?
Okay. Really listen to your parents. Seriously. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a parent, but I tell people that all the time. I'm 40 years old and I still don't remember any time that my parents gave me advice that it was wrong. I still don't see it, because they would tell us stuff and you knew it and you didn't always understand. And it's okay. We're not meant to understand. That's why it says lean not on to your own understanding. And that's not just religious. That's facts, because sometimes we feel like we got to do this and we got to look at it like this and we got to check all the boxes. And sometimes the boxes aren't there.
Yeah.
The things aren't there. But if you trust something, and it wasn't that my parents were any better or my dad was this all be all, but I just had trust in him. And when you have trust in people, like, it's not that you don't question them. You just have this faith, and faith of a mustard seed. Like, people don't understand how small a mustard seed is. It's even smaller than a sunflower seed. Like, and just that little faith, it can move mountains, and just trusting. And it can be hard. I mean, I've been through some things, and people are like, no, but you do this and you do that. Yeah, because that's the grit that I have inside of me.
That's right.
That was created.
People see the finished product, but they don't know what you had to go through.
And I am so grateful I don't look like what I've been through, because I would look a hot wreck.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like your dad comes from really good stock and values, and shout out to your dad.
Shout out to Pops,
man.
for sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
What's his
amazing.
name?
Robert Lee Whitfield Sr. He's been gone 18 years.
Yeah, but he's living through you. His spirit is here right now.
And I tell you, my daughters, they are so much like their grandpa. It's crazy. They're like, but Mom, I never met him. I'm like, but see how deep the genes is?
There you go.
It's deep.
That's right.
Listen, man, thank you so
appreciate
much.
you.
No, thank
It's an honor.
y'all. Y'all are so
amazing. I love
awesome.
your
Please
energy.
come back
Yes.
and have a blessed day. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh, always.
Thanks for tuning in to IChampionHealth Chats. If something you heard in this episode spoke to you, don't forget to follow us and share it with your community. You can find us on social media at IChampionHealth or email us at ichampionhealth@uky.edu. IChampionHealth is a collaboration between UK Prevent Community Engage Alliance and Operation Making a Change. This season of the podcast was supported by UK Healthcare's Healthy Kentucky initiative. The information shared here is from the IChampionHealth team or our guests. These views do not necessarily represent the official position of or endorsement by UK Healthcare. You can explore wellness resources from UK Healthcare and a free suicide prevention training at kyqpr.ukhc.org.